Hey, what's up, guys? On this week's video, on this couple days worth of videos. I'm trying to give you guys as many videos as I can. It's April Fool's Day. I had some huge, grandiose plans for you guys today, and they required going outside, so they're not happening. So instead, we're talking about the April Fool's Days movies. That's right, it's a mini timeline, but one that breaks my rules. Again, I've done this a couple of times, and I'm okay with doing it, because it's not actually a series. It's a movie and a remake, and we're going to try and figure out the timeline and the differences and which works between them, and if they're any good. There's really no fool to this video. It's just all straight up video for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. So in 1986, the fooling began with April Fool's Day, which tells us of Muffy St. John, who's having a party and invites a bunch of college students to visit her island mansion, including Baghead Jason's nemesis and Biff Tanner. While on the ferry over, the kids pull a prank that I'm not sure how they think works. So he throws the knife. The knife is in him with nothing holding it there. It's then revealed that he's fine and it was a strap holding the knife there, like a belt mechanism that would wrap around his waist, which I'm not quite sure how he would install it in time. It's a split second between when he threw the knife and it's just there. So how did he get into the contraption? And a few seconds later, his shirt has no holes in it. So how is the knife protruding through without the belt being visible? Hey, April Fools! Unfortunately, Buck is in the water from trying to help out and is horribly injured. Weird clues start popping up around the mansion, and Skip is the first one to get grabbed and his dead body briefly appears. Buffy acts differently, and pretty soon they discover the bodies of Skip, Arch, and Nan in the well. I'll come back to this moment, remember it. They call the sheriff, and he's at the hospital visiting Buck. I'll come back to this too. I'm coming back to a lot. Pretty soon, more people drop off, and soon Rob and Kit are the only ones left, and they find out that Muffy has a twin named Buffy. And they were pretty young back in 1967. If we guess them to be born around 64 or so, then if this took place in real time, they'd be around 22 or probably 21. Now, earlier they had said that Muffy had spent the last 3 years at Vassar, so she's most likely a junior, and that age range works. So let's put this in real time, 86 here. Muffy's head shows up, and when Buffy shows up, Kit discovers that, surprise, it was a joke. Everyone's okay and alive. Buck was in on it too, and Skip is actually Muffy's brother and not her cousin. And apparently, there was an original ending of the film in which they try to prank Muffy, but Skip snaps and tries to kill her for real in order to get the family inheritance and is killed by Rob. The ending was shot but never made it to the final cut stage, and instead, we get another fake out with Nan. Okay, so let's go back. So, in the well then, if Nan wasn't really dead, was she just hanging out in that well waiting for someone to go there? She went to the well, went in, and I guess just hung out there until the others climbed in and then remained motionless in water? April Fools? Then when they call the sheriff and he tells them he's at the hospital with Buck, he's actually at the hospital. If Buck was fine, why was he actually there? I mean, he could have just told them he was at the hospital. He was on the phone. I mean, I guess he could have coincidentally been there for another reason, but I don't know. April Fools. So, like everything, it was remade, and 22 years later, in 2008, we saw April Fool's Day, the remake. It kicks off on April 1st, 2007, and a debutante ball for discount Laurie Strode, in which Desiree and Blaine here try to ruin her rival Milan's reputation by filming her having sex, but results in her accidental death. The Cartiers are cleared of blame for the death, but still end up in hot water, and then we jump to 1 year later, and it's March 31st, 2008, and I should point out, everything that we've seen so far, basically the setup of the movie, just the setup, has taken close to a half hour of the movie's 90-minute runtime, so we're a third into the film and the actual plot of it hasn't really kicked in yet. Everyone gets these mysterious letters asking them to meet up at Milan's grave, and a mysterious letter tells them someone has to confess to what happened or they will all die. The note says not to go to the police and includes footage of one of their friends dying, so they don't go to the police. And no clue why. They actually have something concrete. They have a video of somebody dying, but they don't go to the police. They just go back about their business. When they start dying, Desiree is usually there, but the bodies keep disappearing, and Blaine and Torrance keep implicating Ryan, and it's pretty obvious what's going on. Soon, it's revealed that Torrance is behind it all and shoots Blaine, and Desiree finally admits that she was responsible for Milan's death and let Blaine get blamed for drugging her. Of course, it's all been fake, and no one is dead, and they were just trying to get her to fess up to her crime. Although I highly doubt that this would hold up in court. She has a gun to her head and thinks the person is going to kill her if she doesn't confess. All she had to do was say in court that she lied in order to not get shot. Unfortunately, when trying to show Desiree that the gun is loaded with blanks, she accidentally kills her for real, and the whole thing was planned by Blaine. So there you have it. It's 2 movies, and I bet you were really waiting for me to pull some sort of trick or gag in this video, but I did not do it. It's just a straight up video. April Fools. So these movies are interesting. The first one I really enjoyed still. It actually holds up pretty well. Again, it's kind of one of those ones that if you've seen a lot of slasher movies, it kind of feels like the same old, but it's actually a really fun movie. I love the twist at the ending. I actually love that no one was actually hurt at all. I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much with the original ending. I kind of like the fact that it's a pretty harmless horror movie and that everybody's okay and it was all just a prank. It kind of fit with the title. So that I'm kind of glad that they kept it as is. The remake is terrible. It feels like a Lifetime movie. It's really not good. I would skip it. It doesn't really have the flavor of the original. It has the flavor of a Lifetime movie. It's just kind of dull, boring, and uninteresting. So I would stay away from that one. But if you haven't seen the original April Fool's Day, I would definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. So that's about it for this video. Keeping these short. Again, just trying to give you guys some extra content to watch during this whole quarantine situation. Hey, as long as this is going on, I'm going to keep on trying to give you guys as many videos as I can. Also, check out my patron Damon actually created a subreddit for Movie Timelines. It's if you're on Reddit, it's r/Movie Timelines. You can go there and post about the videos. You can ask questions. You can give me suggestions of series that you want to see, and we can talk about those kind of things. I'll be on it. I'll try and be on it frequently and answer questions as much as I'm on our comment board here. As always, like and subscribe and do that stuff. Check out my Patreon page over here. Patrons are being asked to participate in some of my upcoming videos as well too. So if you are a patron and you haven't been to the page for a while, go check it out because there's some requests up there about a new series that I'm going to be working on in the near future. So check that out. And in the meantime, I'll see you very shortly for another great video. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.